Yeah, yeah,
Let's do it.
yeah,
Boom,
yeah,
boom,
yeah,
boom.
yeah, yeah.
Come on, let's do it. Bump, 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 bump. Come on, let's do it. Bump, bump, bump. Yeah.
Legends, man. Legends, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Peace,
Greg, nice.
peace
Greg and I in the building. What's up, baby?
Yeah, I'm chilling like Bob Dylan. What y'all guys doing?
Oh, nothing, man. Doing this podcast, man, trying to be like the Breakfast Club.
I hear that.
Hey, man, nice to have you on the show, man. A legend is in the building, man. What's up, Q, man? Say what's up to Greg and I.
Oh, man, no introductions needed, man. I just wanted to say peace and blessings to the brother. He could have been doing anything all across the world, but he said he wanted to grace the Big Trav and Q show. Peace and blessings, Greg Nice. Thank you for being a part of the show here today.
Oh, man, feeling is mutual. Appreciate you having me here today.
Hey, man, I was on your Instagram page, man. What's up with the Ooh La La challenge, man? That's dope, man. I love that, man. What's up with the challenge?
Man, that thing is big, man. Those fellas got a lot of fans. I mean, it's a whole different fan base that they have, and I'm appreciative that they brought me in there because I gained a whole new list of fans that knew nothing about any of the things I've done prior. So it's great, and they love the culture. Them people that's doing that stuff, they really love the culture,
That's what's up, man, because I'm a DJ, man. I've been DJing for 20 years, man, and listen, man, Dwick, Nice and Smooth, man, those are like DJ standards, man. When you mix them, I always mix Dwick. I mean, you gotta mix Dwick, man. You gotta. If you a DJ and you ain't mixing that, man, you ain't doing nothing. So
right, you ain't no DJ.
So shout out to that track, man. DJ Premier. That's what's up, man.
Yeah, so, take me out with the fader.
Hey, Trav, let's do this, man. For those that don't know about the Ooh La La challenge, let's give them a little background on that.
Well, the Ooh La La, that's one of his verses off the Dwick song, man. And I mean, one of the most popular lines in hip hop history, man. I mean, you can't forget, man, Greg Nice has provided us with some of the most memorable lines in hip hop, man. So, man, talk about your writing style, man, because you got, I mean, in Hip Hop Junkies, you got probably about 4 or 5 memorable lines that people will never forget, man. Talk about your writing.
I never been a dude to, say, hey, I'm the vocal guy, I'm the vocabulary man, I'm this, I'm that. I never want to be the number one dude, neither. I never want to be number one because number one always got a lot of pressure and expectations. I like to be like a Luis Guzman, if you know who that is, the actor. Luis Guzman is in everything.
Right.
You never got to be the lead role. If the movie flop, he's still rolling. He on to another movie while that one is flopping. So I like to be in that type of category. So I've never been a guy that they say, I got to sit down and I'm gonna get this pen. I got my rhyme book and all of that. I never had a rhyme book, anything like that. I just came up with the culture as the culture grew from primarily almost day one. So that's how I grew up to that, and always been doing the human beatbox and things like that, and the block parties and everywhere else. So with me, I just sit there and I listen to the music, and then I just make it right there. And I say, let me say it right now.
You know what I want to talk about too? You also, started out in the beginning with one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite artists and songs, Tila Rock, man. That song is yours. Oh my God. Commentating, illustrating, description giving, adjective, expert, analyzes. Man, that was my song, man. Talk about your relationship with Tila Rock.
T is a big brother to me. T seen something in me, when I was a kid. But I had to do what I had to do, because a lot of times, you can bring somebody to the water, but you can't make them drink it. Right. So I'm gonna get to the water and I'm gonna get a couple of quarts and I'm going to guzzle a whole bunch of that water. And that's what happened with that. I met Tila Rock in a house party. This was 1984. I met him in a house party in 1984. And friend of mine approached him. He was with his brother Special K from the Treacherous 3. everybody think that Special K is Tila Rock's big brother, but he's his little brother.
Right.
Just that he just so happened to, surface before he did, as far as the mainstream is concerned. But I met them guys and put me on the spot because everybody was talking about how nice, he nice on the beatbox. He nice on the beatbox. He was like, man, he ain't nice as Dougie, because that was the only person that was happening. It was nobody else around. And Doug had just got to make it was like a white label. It wasn't even nothing that was big. It was the song that goes crowd around everybody. It was just that. And so I got on and I did what I do. And we exchanged information. And the next day I was coming home from school and my mother told me this guy called you. And I'm like, yeah? Oh man, I missed the call. She was like, don't worry. He said he's going to call you tomorrow. So I got home early the next day, met up with him that evening. And this was Special K. And we went to OC and Crazy Eddie house. They was happening, they had the Fearless 4, they had the Fantasy 3 with It's Your Rock and all of them things happening. So when I went to OC and Crazy Eddie crib, OC took a liking to me. And, before I know it was like 11 o'clock at night and I was still there with O. So and then he was like, come back again, come over here again. And I was like, all right, I get out of school tomorrow, I'm gonna come back. And I came back again, I'm chilling with O. And that same night, like Tito comes over from the Fearless and then Peso and Mighty Mike C and all of those guys came and they was going to do a show that night at the Fun House and at the Roxy. So for those that don't know the Roxy, that's where they filmed the movie Beat Street at.
Oh yeah,
right.
For sure.
That's for your listeners that's listening or whatever.
Right.
But I went with them and then Tito put me on the spot. Was like, you gonna get on with us? I'm like, man, you crazy? He was like, yo, come on, man. My leg was shaking and whatnot. I was nervous. And like, man, I can't do that. and I got on with him. And from there, we went to the Roxy. And then I started going everywhere because I started meeting everybody during that time, like Rockmaster Scott and the Dynamic 3. I started going on the road with them a lot.
Right.
And I would go everywhere with T. It's Yours was real hot. And Rockmaster Scott asked me one day, yo, you can go to the show with us? And I was like, let me ask T, since T been taking me everywhere. Let me ask him. And he's like, no, we ain't got no show that day, so go ahead. So I went. The difference with Rockmaster Scott, he came with a lot more money. He was paying a lot more money. So to be a guy that's in 11th grade in high school, it was crazy. So I started rocking out with them. And then one of the members of their group, MBG, his name is Greg as well. He had signed up to be a state trooper and it came through. So he was like, he out of here. Rockmaster Scott told me, look, learn the words to the song. So I learned the words to Request Line and The Roof is on Fire.
Right.
And I started going with them everywhere doing that. And then every other day I would go to the shows of T. So then T was going to do a new album. And he was like, yo, you're going to come be on the album and all this. Because at this time I was going to the Disco Fever and all of these places that was happening. Right. The Human Beatbox was new. So I was going to all of the contests, winning everywhere. I was winning at the Mike and Dave concerts in Harlem. And that's where I met Biz. I met Biz at Michael Dave's contest in Harlem. We had a runoff. I got the trophy. He got the trophy that was behind me. And, yeah.
You was that nice? You was that nice on the beatbox?
Yeah, man. Still got the trophies to show it. So anyway, then at that same time, I went to high school with Kool Keith from Ultramagnetic. So Keith and Seji and us, we used to be together every day. And I did the beatbox on one of their songs, on the Given Bait song. I did that. So I just was like all over the place. And I was doing the beatbox for a friend of mine and he wanted me to rhyme with him. I was like, I don't want to do that, man. I just want to let me do the music part, He's like, nah, I don't want to be up there by myself. Y'all want you to do a part with me, man. So he made like a 4-bar like verse and it's like, yo, just say this, man. And I'm like, all right, I'll do this one thing. And after that, I go back to the beat. He's like, yeah. So I did it during that time. And then not too long after that, my boy got murdered and stuff. So I just went all the way into it. Yeah, my June Love. That's what we dedicated the first Nice and Smooth album to, and the first single, everything you'll see on the credits. But from there, it's like his spirit jumped into me. His spirit jumped into me. His energy was more laid, like how Smooth is more laid.
Right.
My energy was the way it was, but his spirit went inside, and it's like I just started thinking of the craziest things.
That was a blessing. That was a blessing.
Yeah. God had his hand on that for a reason. He had his
No
hand on it
doubt.
for a
No
reason.
doubt.
And a friend of mine was like, "Yeah, I got this dude I want you to meet, man. I think y'all hit it off. Come by my house tomorrow. I'm having him come over there." I was like, "All right." I came, and Smooth was at his crib. So we met him. We talking, and I was like, "Yo, my man. My man had. This was right before my boy passed away. So the next time my boy came there too, and we all hit it off. We was like, yo, we do a group, man. Nice, Smooth, and Love. It'll be dope like that." I was like, yeah, yeah. Then when he got, murdered, Smooth was hanging out with Bobby Brown and writing rhymes for him and stuff. He had just left New Edition. And then they went out on the road. But I was already going on the road. I had left and went to Europe with Tila Rock and Mantronics. So I was over there with them and Just Act. We was out there for like 30, 40 days.
Damn.
And every time you come back home to New York, I go meet up with him at his mom's crib, like on a Monday or Tuesday, because that's usually the off days when the tours was off. Because I think they went out on the road. It was like Ready for the World, Bobby Brown, and Club Nouveau. And I go to Smooth crib and I'm playing beats. I'm like, yo, check out this joint. I'm getting ready to rock this joint. He's like, yo, that beat is dope. He's like, who did it? I'm like, I did it. I'm like, yo, you want to rhyme on it? He's like, yeah, that's dope. I'm like, boy, you can rhyme on it. It'll be dope. Look, nice, smooth. It'll be dope. Yeah, bet, let's do it.
Yeah.
I did another one. I'm like, yo, you hear this beat? Rhyme on it. Boom. And from there was history. So we already had our own careers as far as the destination and the angle we wanted to do. So a lot of people today, they familiar with us as the group. So that's all they know. They fail to realize that he'd been rhyming before he even knew me. You know what I mean?
Right.
He had a plan and things that he wanted to do in life. But this thing just happened to happen. It wasn't a bad thing because all it did was make it better for you to do what you want to do later on in your life.
Made y'all legends.
Yeah, so that's how he has his new project out and stuff and working his stuff. So it's a good look.
Shout out to Smooth B. Shout out to Smooth B, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Shout out to him.
And you mentioned Mantronics too, man. I'm an old break dancer. Shout out to Mantronics too, man. I was an old break dancer. We used to break dance off of that Mantronics, man.
Yeah, he created that double time that they doing now. And he created all that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now I seen y'all done the Pimpin' Ain't Easy track with Big Daddy Kane, man. Talk about working with Kane. Talk about working with Big Daddy Kane, man. I like Big Daddy Kane too.
Well, we used to hang all the time. Me and him used to hang all the time. To the point was like Smooth was like, man, you and him need to have a group because you all be hanging out all the time. I'm like, man, that's my boy. So we used to be at his grandma's house. This is before any of the albums or anything came out, and we used to run hard. So as time went on, it just had an opportunity to do that. And we did that song. It was a different time than how it is today. It was totally different.
Now, did Marley Marl do any tracks on that first album, on your first album? I mean, were you connected with Marley Marl? Did you get any of his tracks?
No, I know Marley, but I did all the tracks on all of those albums.
Oh, you produced the first album?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up, man. I didn't see that in the when I was researching. I didn't see that you was a producer as well. I didn't see that.
I don't run around and be saying I'm a producer. People run around and say they producer ain't got no hits.
But you know what? Slick Rick done the same thing. A lot of people don't know that Slick Rick produced the show and he produced Lottie Dottie. People don't know
a lot of things that he did incorporated Vance Wright, but you don't hear that.
Uh-oh.
That was his original DJ, Vance Wright, his childhood friend.
Oh, okay.
They worked together on that Great Adventures.
Oh, okay.
That Great Adventures. So again, like I said, I don't run around talking about I'm no producer. People say they producers and all that. I mean, make some hits.
That's right.
That makes the difference. Premier was on one of them shows, the Drink Champs, and they got into some type of conversation, and they wound up bringing it up to me. And he was like, nah, I didn't do none of that. He's like, Greg did everything. He's like, what?
That's what's up.
He was like, yeah. Greg did everything.
Yeah.
When we did the programming of the DeWick record, Premier took my fingers, said, yo, here, come on. And we started hitting the button. He's like, now we both did it. I was like, Prim, you crazy.
Shout out,
like on the first
shout out
song,
to
on the first album, we did the Run It Down the Line song, and Guru's on it with us and everything. That's on the second album. Premier did all the scratches on it. All of the same things, you know, the Hip Hop Junkies, you name it. You know, sometimes Rhyme Slow, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that Hip Hop Junkies track, man. Talk about the making of that song. How you guys came up with the sample, the Partridge Family sample, and putting the song together. Talk about putting that song together for us.
Smooth had that, I think, like from Goodwill or something, the old tape, and he was playing the tape of that, and he was like, "Yo, G, listen to that." He gave it to me. I was like, "I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna hook it up." And I was like, "Yo, come over here, listen." He's like, "Oh, shit, this is crazy." I'm like, "Yeah," and I just kept humming that melody of the hook, and it was meant to be. I started doing the programming of the drums, and I played the bass over and started doing that, and I sat back for a minute and listened to it again. And as I was tweaking things, you know, Smooth wrote like most of all of that song. Smooth wrote most of it, and I made the whole hook. I remember that part now as clear as day. And you know, all of the albums we did, we had Pure Blend singing on the records.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had Pure Blend singing on the records, and I was humming it to them how I wanted the chorus to go. And they kept telling me, "Yo, it's not on key. It's not on key." I was like, "I don't know keys. I know sound.
Right.
If it make me go like this,
Right.
everybody in the world gonna go like this too."
Right.
They was like, "But nah, you know, because you know they like to be perfect when they singing and things." So I said, it's cool, because we had somebody else. I got somebody else that could sing that already. Y'all already sang on the Funk You For You song. Y'all sang on the We Are Number One song. Y'all sang on a lot of songs already with us. How to Flow. You sang on. I got somebody else to do that. And then my man, the lead dude, he's like, nah, I'm gonna do it. I'm just saying that. It's not on key. I don't know keys. It's like, yo, go to that diner around the corner, man. Here, go get some egg sandwiches. They came back. When they came back, my engineer had it up and had it in the big speakers and just had it playing over and over. And they was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. This gonna rock. I know how to do this. You know, my showmanship has always been there."
One of the dopest tracks ever, man. Shout out.
Yeah, that feeling was a whole nother feeling, man. I lived it, and I'm still living it right now.
For sure, man.
No matter what we play, I don't care what's going on. When that note just hits from the door, everybody want to have a good time. So
now, Greg, we alluded to Marley Marl earlier, and I just wanted your opinion. When they talk about some of the top producers in the game today, in your personal opinion, why do you think Marley Marl is not mentioned in that same round? In your assessment?
Because with hip hop, it's sad. We put a typecast over things in hip hop. It's only in hip hop. It's not in jazz. It's not in R&B. It's not in pop. It's not in rock. With hip hop, you got to be a certain age or else you're not relevant. If you don't talk about this, you're not relevant. If you speak your mind, you're a hater. You're bitter. Everybody's memory is like 2 years. After 2 years, I don't know nothing. Whatever else is happening, I don't care about nothing else. And it's only with this craft right here. So I say that to say how soon we forget.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
no doubt.
It's terrible. It's terrible because it ain't just with him. It's with a lot of things. And again, I spoke about this the other day on the interview that it's only with hip hop culture, man.
Right.
Say, for example, you know, if Stokely from how long Mint Condition been out? 25 years?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
If Stokely put out a record tomorrow the urban stations, adult contemporary, 9 out of 10 of them gonna play it.
Right.
If Ralph Tresvant put out this new record, 9 out of 10 of the adult contemporary stations are playing it. Johnny Gill, they're playing it. Charlie Wilson, they're playing it. Big Daddy Kane make a song. The urban station don't want to play the record. I want you to stay in this one thing where you at. I want you to stay half-stepping. That's all you're going to do, Dougie, is the show. You're going to stay right there at the show. That's it. So you'll have these stations like they did at, they was doing them boom stations for a while. They was doing them clear channel. Radio 1 was doing the boom channels. And every time you do the boom channel, it's like, it's great, when 7 out of 10 of the guys don't own the publishing on these records that was done 30 and 35, 40 years ago. They don't own the publishing, but you got those records on heavy rotation. So it's like, I'll play that, but I can't play nothing new from that artist on that station. You should be able to play something new, present for them, because it has nothing to do if you're 50 or if you're 25 years old. If you funky about what you're doing and they got that feeling, that rhythm to it, the rest is history.
Yeah,
all of this whole imaging about you don't look this way or you don't look that way,
right,
is totally out of the world. And it's only with hip hop. Bon Jovi can come out tomorrow.
Right.
Mick Jagger come out tomorrow and be on the road with Green Day. And Green Day want to do a song with Mick Jagger. You know what?
You're right. And you're the first person I ever heard speak about that. But that is the truth. As a DJ, I always hear people say, you hear the artists say that rap or hip hop, it's a young man's sport. And so and listen to what you just said makes me think that people feel like that after you get a certain age, they lose faith in you doing new projects. It seemed like that. But
right.
But the only person I don't say that about, because Snoop Dogg is still relevant.
I'm gonna tell you why. He came at a time and an era with one of the greatest producers and businessmen in this business.
Right, right.
He came at a time where somebody that he dealt with owned companies.
Right.
It's rare. You only get one of them. You only got one of him.
Right. I agree.
One Jay-Z. You only got one. It's rare. If we can name the top 5 black companies, music companies in our time that we've been alive, that's showing you that something is wrong.
Right.
You only can name like 5 that was really dominant. Every time they mention something, it was the Death Row and the Def Jam.
Right.
And now that Andre Harrell has passed away, Uptown Records.
Right.
Rap-A-Lot.
Right.
Yeah.
No Limit, Cash Money.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. So now those guys came on a time and era when things started to change as far as becoming mainstream and commercial.
Right.
Snoop
right.
Just a guy that rhymes on the mic. He's an image.
Right. Right.
His image is bigger than his music.
Right. I agree. Yeah. Like you said, you only get one of them.
It's totally different. And a lot of them other guys, like I said, they didn't own their stuff. There were guys that was laying a blueprint so that it can be this kind of thing. So the internet came. So now guys doing interviews on Trav show, on these different shows, and explaining on how they lost this or how this went that way and how they never owned that.
Exactly.
So now they figured the system out again. They made this. They said, you know what? Hold on, they're getting too much money independently. What we're gonna do? We're gonna kill the DJ. You know how we're gonna kill the DJ? I'm gonna give him a playlist. No more Trav could break this record. Trav may have met Super Lover C the other day down the street, and he came into you and he gave you a record of vinyl, and it was due to James, and you threw it on. You was like, oh, this is crazy in your house. He was like, when I get to the station, I'm gonna play this tonight. It could be somebody else came to you with another record. You're like, this is crazy. I'm gonna play this tonight. This record sounds nothing like it. She Keeps on Passing Me By sounds nothing like Do to James. Do to James don't sound like Murder Was the Case she gave me. I could just go on and on. So all of them, none of them sound like Criminal Minded, sound like Criminal Minded. Criminal Minded don't sound like Souls of Mischief. Souls of Mischief don't sound like fuck the police, don't sound like nightmares. We could just keep going on and going on.
Right.
Those
Exactly.
was like, you guys were the guys that were breaking that music.
Right.
So now I'm a college graduate. I'm 29 years old. I'm the VP of that station where you work at.
Right.
My boss owns 32 radio stations across the country. And it's this many black-owned stations that we can mention.
Right.
So now, if I own all these stations and I give you one playlist, all of the same stations is playing the same thing at the same time. So like if you're driving from Ohio to Arkansas, every time you're getting past a different state, the radio station, you turn the knob and they playing the same record. You go, oh snap, that's the same song. Oh, that's the same song. Right. Before you know it, when you get some gas, by the time you get some gas, get back in the car, that same song on again. So it ain't like it's never been rotation before, but it was rotation where you had 35 different records. Right. That's how you heard so many different records. It didn't do nothing. It didn't hurt nothing. It made people make great records. You know, when Rick James is on, you heard M2May at the same time. You heard George Benson record. Right. All of those crazy records is on at one time.
A lot of variety in the music. Right. I hear what you're saying.
But you know what? Thank God for XM Radio. Thank God for for Rock the Bells and XM Radio. Thank God for iHeart Radio, because they got hip hop. They got hip hop classic stations. And so they make you pay. They make you pay to listen to it. But it's dope shit. But the thing is, like you said earlier, are those old school artists, are they getting their royalties? Are they getting their royalties off of all of that stuff, man? Most of
them are not.
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid of.
Most of them did publishing deals. That again, this thing ain't been here 50 years strong.
Right.
It's learning and progressing as we talk right now. So if those records, the Message and all of these other records came and they had different producers doing them, you was 19 years old, you living in the South Bronx, we not knowing that it's going to get to this level. Today, if a kid is growing up, they looking because it's already a business. It was a hobby before. It's a business right now. You know exactly what it is. YouTube and all of that stuff. Right. It's a business from the door now. Right. So that's why the record labels are like, I give you 360 deals right now. You young, so you like, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna be like Future. I'm gonna be like this guy. Yeah, you could put some colors in your hair and go like this. Everybody just do like this. Yeah. Don't worry, it's gonna be in there. As long as you rolling with us, Warner Brothers, BMG, whatever, we got this locked in. You're going on the mainstream. We only put 9 of them records on at a time, and you're gonna ride. But I want 360 of all your stuff.
Yep. And
they get $10 million and get out of here.
And listen, they getting lazier because now, the artists got to do all of the work now. The artists, it's set up now where the artists can put their music on TuneCore, and then TuneCore can distribute it everywhere. I mean Amazon, iTunes, Apple Music. They can
Pandora, all of the platforms.
So now the record companies, they want to wait and let that artist build himself up, do all his marketing, get a hit song, and then swoop in and then sign him. So that's what they want to do. That's what they do now. And like Meg Thee Stallion, I don't think she should have signed. I don't think she should have. She was popping before the deal.
You said who did this?
This is Meg Thee Stallion, the girl, that rapper, Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She was popping, man. She was popping before the deal. To me, she should have stayed independent and just worked her hand, because she was already making money, man. She didn't have to sign that. And then, then she signed with Rock Nation for a management deal. And then Rock Management looked over her contract and was like, this contract fucked up. And then told her to go back to 300 and be like, redo my deal. And then 300, they don't want to redo her deal. So, and now they fighting over that, man. Now let me ask you.
And they money long. They can keep going for a long time.
I know they got all them artists, man.
They go a long time, and there'll be another girl that look just like you, that's a little younger.
Right.
And come with one song, and they'll forget about you for you'll be off to the side.
Well, let me ask you this. Based on, because of everything you said, remember Swiss Beats made a recommendation that the legends of hip hop, the old school artists that paved the way for everything, that they should have some type of pension. They should be paid some type of money. So are you with that? I mean, do you agree with him that
the pioneers? Yeah, the pioneers should. They should. Yeah,
so how would you do it if you could set it up? How would you think it would go?
Well, again, a lot of them don't own none of the publishing from all of the other things that they've done. You would have to get that budget somehow. It would take somebody like Swiss Beats or somebody that got the initial money. If he got $20 million and he go get a loan and saying, I want to make this non-for-profit situation or whatever you want to call it, figure it out somehow. It's definitely a way to do it. It could be done.
You know what
You and I, we can have the idea, but we have to get it to the table with somebody that got some currency.
You know what I think? This would be a good idea. You know, with the artists that's out now, they should create a tax. They should create a tax that can be taxed on the current artists now. You know, let's keep it in hip hop. They should create a tax, you know, and it can be added into their normal taxes. I mean, it sounds crazy, a hip hop tax. It sounds crazy just saying it, but I think that something along those lines should be created where these artists can pay into something, you know, that maybe help out with the pioneers, or maybe put something away for them just in case they jack their money up. So I think they need to start thinking about, after the careers of the artists. They need to start thinking about more about that, because the hip hop is a performance-based industry. If you don't work, you don't get paid.
That's any of them. Any of them.
Yep. And if your royalties ain't set up right, you ain't gonna get no money either. So
if you're an actor and you ain't getting filming, you ain't getting paid.
Right. So yeah. So the COVID is hitting us all. DJ and I ain't getting no work, man.
Everybody.
Yeah. Artists ain't getting no shows. So how you been holding up during the COVID? You been holding on okay?
I'm here, man.
Hey man, you got a website for that? You got a website for Hip Hop Junkie?
Yeah, no doubt.
Go ahead and give it out right quick.
GregNiceOfficial.com.
GregNiceOfficial.com if you want your Hip Hop Junkie mask. You know what?
Hey,
go ahead.
Let me ask you. So I was speaking of Snoop. He was talking on the documentary for the Master P, and he was breaking down the parallels between the 80s rappers and the 90s transitioning into the Y2K. And he was talking about how the music was arguably the best in the 80s, even with the hip hop, R&B, et cetera. But he was saying that era of music and artists is arguably the ones that are struggling the most. But those are the artists that lives on infinity. So my question to Greg, do you agree with that assessment? And why do you think that is?
It was original. All of it was original, and most of those records were made with bands.
Right.
And again, they was doing it with so much love because it wasn't a platform for it yet. It was stuff that they took from rocking in the parks. And that's why the feeling is different. So you could go to a concert and you have all these different acts on it. When that era get on, you feel a different thing. When the Sugar Hill get on and do the jump on it.
Right.
All nationalities just start going crazy.
Exactly.
When Rob Bass get on and do It Takes Two, the whole place just go crazy.
Wow, that's true.
It's true. Just that, man.
And you know what?
It's just that.
And you know what? The Roxanne Shante situation, after I watched that Unsung, after I watched the movie, the way she got played, I mean, she was one of the founding fathers of hip hop. And what was so evident in her story was that she said what she was doing had never been done before, so they didn't know how to set her up. They didn't know how to set up royalties. They didn't know, and that's why they need to be paid, because they didn't know what they was doing. They was just doing it, like you said, for the love. They was just doing it for the love.
I said there wasn't a platform yet. This was the blueprint being done. The blueprint was being done. And then at the same time, like with her situation, her song came from a song of somebody else, you know, that Full Force produced.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how much was you going to get from that initially anyway, from that one, from that particular song?
Exactly.
The same thing, the Sugar Hill came from Good Times. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, how about you guys? Were you in Beast Move? Were you guys set up okay? Were you guys set up all right?
Well, man, you heard me on the song. I said I worked too hard for my royalty. Put lead and drink a cup of tea. Beast to Red Alert and Kid Capri.
Yeah. Oh, so you got your shit set up right. Shout out to my man Greg Nice. Got it set up right.
I came at a time, like I said, with the Fearless Four, with Crazy Eddie and OC and Tila Rock and Rockmaster Scott and the Dynamic 3 and Scott LaRock and all of them. Scott was my neighbor, you know. You live and you learn. At least you're supposed to. In that time and era when we came up, you wanted to know what your elders knew. You wanted to know what your uncle knew. You wanted to listen to your elder more or less than today, where first thing you say if somebody that's the elder say something, you know, positive to you or give you some liners, you're a hater. No, listen. I went down that street. I'm telling you, you got your new Jaguar. It's 5 giant potholes down that road.
Right.
Don't go, listen. Go this other way. You know what? Go ahead and drive your. Go ahead. First one, the whole car smashed up.
Now, Greg Nice, my co-host and I'm gonna keep it light real quick. My co-host and I, we have this age-old debate between one another. By you being on the East Coast, I wanted to know, and you alluded to earlier about Beat Street.
Man, so I already know his answer. I already know his answer.
No. You don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But I want to ask him for the Big Trav and Q show. So we want to know about the 2 standing movies about Beat Street and Breaking. And we wanted to know, arguably, which movie at the time was arguably more influenceable in that era? Was it Beat Street or was it Breaking?
Beat Street.
That's right. Yeah.
It was Beat Street. I mean, it's arguably that. Even Ice-T would probably say the same thing.
Come on,
Ice-T would probably say the same thing. It ain't about what you liked.
Right.
I could have hated both of the movies, but I can break down the points. It showed you house parties.
Right.
How motherfuckers is in abandoned buildings in the mecca of where all of the shit started, period.
Right.
You're in abandoned buildings, putting extension cords in the building, lighting up the whole building when you're supposed to be there. They don't have no heat. It ain't in California where the sun is hot. Right. They're doing this in the snow, going up in the subway, trying to get somewhere on the subway. You're getting in there. You got all kind of stick-up kids in there. You know, everybody was dancing. They wasn't just break dancing. They wasn't just doing an electric boogie. They showed you how graffiti was, how people were sneaking up in the subway train yards, doing graffiti, not just tagging up, but doing pieces, wall to walls, top to bottoms. They was doing all of this different stuff going on. It was so much happening in there opposed to, you know, everybody could remember Turbo and this guy. That's what they remember more about.
Turbo and Ozone, you know what I'm saying?
That's the main thing that you can remember about breaking. And you was excited. You seeing the guys doing Electric Boogie, and the quality of how the movie was filmed like a Hollywood movie. Right. It was filmed in Hollywood.
And B Street was
It wasn't filmed in the South Bronx.
Right.
You know, they didn't have none of that.
Get him, Greg. Get him.
Then you seen how they flipped it when the Treacherous 3 was doing the whole Christmas rapping. They had to be creative. They ain't had no budget. It was out of the door. It was just like, this is what we gonna do. And you had
Greg, you a legend. You a legend, and I'm gonna let you have that one, man.
It ain't about me having that. Like I said, I might be like, yo, you want to watch B Street right now? Hell no. You want to watch Breaking right now? Hell no. But it ain't gonna stop me from telling the facts of what went on. It's the facts.
Right.
It's right there in your face.
Right.
Imagine they didn't do B Street. Imagine that.
That'll be
It
a
wouldn't
tragedy.
be no Crush Groove. It wouldn't be nothing.
You're right.
It wouldn't be none of that showing how the DJs be going at it, how you turn
Right.
the party. Let's go, everybody. Let's start the dot. Whatever
That's right.
they was.
That's right. That's right.
All of that made things happen. That made things jump off in the house world. It made
Right.
things jump off in the go-go world. Anytime you do a record, you throwing that 50 Cent, one of the biggest records ever. He's go shorty, it's your
Right.
birthday. He's just taking things that they said in jams in New York City at that time
Right.
and put it on a record, and the whole world got a chance to see it and feel it. So
Well, what about Crush Groove? How influential was Crush Groove?
Well, look at it. I mean, look who came out of there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look who came out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Look, the
That's
meanest
true.
rapper in breaking was Ice-T. Ice-T from Summit, New Jersey.
Right.
Moved to California.
Yeah.
You know,
He went out there and turned their world upside down.
right. you know what I want to ask you? Why you guys didn't make it to the self-destruction song?
I don't know. I probably was somewhere getting blunted.
Let me ask you this. Did you want to be on the song?
No, I wasn't even thinking about it. You see,
No, I'm just saying.
Like I said, I was probably somewhere getting blunted up, man. I wasn't thinking about that. Hanging out with some chicks, going to a club or in another state. I could have been in D.C. or Ohio somewhere hanging out.
Yeah, that's what LL said too. LL said he was on tour. But I mean, do you look at the video and hear the song now, and do you wish you had been on it?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just, with it being so historic and you being a legend, it would have been nice to see you guys on there.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, I did so many other things. I did Mary J. Blige's first record. That's better than anything.
Yo.
I ain't gotta do nothing else.
Yeah. Greg. Yeah.
I did Do You Want to Get Funky with CNC Music Factory, man. Well, it was the biggest thing happening, man. I did Goody Goody with Lizette Melendez when hip hop artists wasn't doing records with dance freestyle artists. I did Soul Train with her. I did Arsenio Hall with her when nobody was doing it. I wasn't
He was getting
scared.
money.
We was like,
money.
I'm going to do a record with New Kids on the Block. Russell Simmons like, nah, man, you can't do that. Russell said, that's going to destroy your career if you do that. We was like, man, we want to do it. Because we was at the Apollo. We had just did Thanksgiving at the Apollo. Was the 2 shows one night, the 7 o'clock show and 11 o'clock show. And we was headlining both shows. And they had the Ghetto Boys on it. They had Tim Dog, Fuck Compton on it. You had Black Sheep on it. And you had Cypress Hills on it. And after the first show, my man KK, Dougie's man, because Dougie lived right down the street from the Apollo. That's where Doug grew up at. And K came to the dressing room, was like, yo, I got these dudes want to meet you and whatever. He's like, when we finish this set, I'll go out and meet him or whatever. So we went in the back of the Apollo, went by a car and shit and seen his white kids in the car. Like, oh shit, it's Donnie Wahlberg. Yo, what's up? yo, want to make a record with y'all, man. You know? It's like, all right, man, that sounds good. Smooth was like, word. So the next morning I called Russell at the crib. It's Russell Simmons. I'm like, yo, Russ, met these new kids last night. Want to do a record? Oh, hell no. It's going to destroy your career. Oh, no. I was like, nah, man. Miss Smooth was like, we want to do it. So we called Donnie Ienner up at Columbia Records because that was the boss. We called Donnie Ienner and told Donnie Ienner what happened. He was like, you guys want to do it? We was like, yeah, we'll go do it. And we went to the studio. We did it. Till today, we still got a relationship with new kids with Donnie Wahlberg right now. To the point where last year, the year before, we went out different dates performing, doing the same thing. So it's all about love. It's about music. It's about the whole world, man. I like to exercise my things. Last year, I got a double platinum record with a DJ in Germany named DJ Catch, with an average hip hop head around the corner don't know who that is, but the rest of the world know what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Because that's what music's supposed to be about. Last time I played in Columbus, Ohio, I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something real fly. So we did some concert for some radio station, whatever the big black radio station is in Columbus. We did the show, and it was one of them outside radio concerts.
Right.
And it was Kid and Play was on it. Everybody, Dana was on it. Everybody was on that joint. So I had a relationship with an elder in the game. I was like, you know what? This is how you're supposed to spread love. I called my man, was like, look, meet me at the hotel. I know today is your anniversary with your wife. Meet me there. Came to the hotel. I was like, I'm gonna keep you over here. I don't want nobody to see you because I don't want none of these other dudes to know I got you here with me. So when me and Smooth came out, after we got to the second song, we break into the second where we go, let's take it back to the old school. Let's take it to Union Square. When you get to that, let's take it back to the LQ. Wave your hands like you just don't care. But instead of me saying that at that time, I said, wave your hands. I said, this man, this man right here, he's from here. And I brought him out and had the Teddy Ted drop the music and just walking down the street, watching. I brought Steve Arrington out and let him rock.
Yeah,
let him rock.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the whole spot was going bananas.
That's what's up, man.
Hey, Greg,
because that's what that's about.
Let me ask you real quick about diversifying because there's a lot of artists that were really crazy hot from the 90s and their careers were very transitional, but there's been a lot of them that has not been able to basically carry their careers over. And I've been hearing, from other, so what is your thoughts about a lot of artists not being able to transition over and being able to diversify? What is your thoughts on that?
I think, well, some of them was, I don't know, some of them were made by other people. So for example, you may be a guy that could deliver a verse, but you don't have the same production team. You don't have the same role management around you. You don't have the same guys or people that you used to deal with at that time that will be like, look, man, don't mess with that beat right there. That ain't banging. Or you may have ran people out of your corner, out of your camp, because you might have got like this, because it happens to a lot of people. So again, if you ain't got that same format a lot of times it ain't gonna work. But it's some people that's fortunate that can do it. That whole sound was built that Dre did with Snoop. But he was able to transition even into one of the Master P sounds.
Right.
He made it work. Everybody may not have loved it, but he made it work. It wasn't whack. And then how he could transform and do a Pharrell sounding song or whoever. So it's rare that a lot of people can do it. It's rare.
It looked like that's what happened to Master P when I was watching the No Limit Chronicles and Beats by the Pound, the producers, they left.
I met them. Two summers ago, man. They hung out with me for about 2 hours. We was hanging hard. It was cool dude.
And it looked like when they left P, that's when his success started to to go down a little bit. And because he didn't have the same, they was cranking out some shit. I mean platinum records. I mean, one after the other, and then they kind of strong R&P for some more money. I mean, that's the way P played it on the Chronicles, and then he didn't pay him the money, so they broke out, and then then they started.
Hey man, if you got the money, then give it up.
Right.
Give it up. Let's just keep it working.
You know what? Let me ask you about this. I was surprised to learn in one of your interviews that you had a relationship with Tupac. About. I was surprised to learn that. I wouldn't have put Tupac and Greg Nice together, but talk about your relationship with Tupac.
That's the problem right there, because real recognize real. It's like you got a homeboy. Your homeboy can play your homeboy could be Tony Dorsett, like your jersey in the back.
Right.
Tony Dorsett don't DJ.
Right.
He don't talk on the mic. But you and Tony Dorsett got a relation. That's your man.
Right.
Nobody know none of that. You got a brother and a sister, and y'all two totally different people, but be brother and sister. So it has nothing to do with that. But on the technical aspect, I mean, it was hints in your face. Like for example, when you see the Juice movie. In the beginning of the movie, they walking down the street, get ready to go to the bar where they had the stick up in the bar. He's rapping, right? He's saying rhymes. He's saying the rhymes from my verse from Funky For You.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Right.
I didn't realize that.
True. Yeah. Go back and watch the movie, Trav. Yeah.
All day. He was saying the rhymes all day. He told me, man, I couldn't stop saying it. That's what he told me. So when the director said I was doing it, and he's like, cut. The director was like, keep saying that, what you're saying. That sounds good. Keep that. And he said he just kept on doing it. And then, in Poetic Justice, You look in the bedroom, you see me a poster of me and Smooth on the wall.
Oh, that's
Dope,
dope.
dope,
That's
dope.
Look
dope.
at the
Dope.
movie. You see. Then on the soundtrack, we on the soundtrack with the Cash in My Hand song. You know, so it's to the point where when we was hotter than fish grease, you know, I would take him different places with me in the city, all over in the Bronx. I took him to Vance Wright house so he could meet Vance Wright. Rick was in jail, I think, during that time, or he might, yeah, Rick might have been in jail. But anyway, I took him over there. I took him a lot of different places, and when success really started happening for him, we got in touch with each other, and I went out there. I stayed out there with him till he passed away, and you know, we would ride in the car every day. We'd be in the car every day. Everybody else would be in another car. Outlaws, Edie, and everybody, and they all be in another car. And it'd just be me and him in the coupe, and we riding. And this other guy, Frank, the security guy, Frank, used to be behind us in the van. And I said, yo, God is blessing you right now, man. I said, he's blessing you. And he looked at me, he was like, word, man. Ain't he? I'm like, yeah, he's like,
Now
he
was
said,
this during the East Coast West Coast thing going on? Was
Yeah.
this during that period?
yeah. Yeah. And
What did you make all that nonsense?
I mean, I'm from a different era to the point where, you know, I'm from an era when none of that,
Right.
when none of y'all even existed, when y'all ain't
Right.
even exist yet.
Right.
So I'm cool with, to the point where there was one time I'm in my hotel room at the Universal Sheraton or the Hilton, and everybody always want to come to my room when I'm somewhere because I always had the best weed. Always had the best weed. And this is before any of these motherfuckers was having weed. Trust me. Before Redman was having weed, all of that. Before any of that. And you can ask them, they'll tell you. Just like, yeah. So I was up in my room. I had Big and Tupac in my room.
Oh, that's what's
And,
up.
then we left, and Tupac just got a house. He just got a small house. He had one of them square Cherokee Jeeps. And we jumped in the Jeep. Me, him, my man Dan Smalls, and Big, and we went to the crib. And we spent the whole day to the whole night there.
That's
And we
what's
just
up.
in the living room, just rhyming in a circle, and Big just kept telling me, rhyme, I just love to hear your voice, Greg. Just keep rhyming. Just keep rhyming.
Yeah.
And,
Well, it was actually alleged that you was actually trying to actually bring them together to start that beef out. Is that accurate?
this is where that's what I was getting ready to get into. So
Okay.
that's what had happened to the point where we in the crib one day because everybody had an apartment on each corner. He had an apartment on one corner, Snoop had one on the other, Dre had one on another, and Suge had one on another. And we was in the living room, and he kept telling me, yo, Greg, man, I miss Puerto Ricans. I'm like, what? He's like, I miss Puerto Ricans, man. I want to see some Puerto Ricans, man. He's like, I miss going up into the bodegas and to the weed spots, man. He said, you know any Puerto Rican that come out here? I'll give him a plane ticket. I just want to see one. I'm like, you're crazy, B. He's like, I miss New York so much, man. He's like, I know everybody mad at me. I'm like, everybody ain't mad at you, man. He's like, no. I'm like, not your boys. Everybody ain't mad at you. I was like, yo, you want me to get Moby on the phone right now? For real? I'm like, yeah. Hold on. Yo, Mo, what's up? Yeah, I'm in Cali, Tupac. What? Hold on, put your phone. You get on the phone, they talking, and Pac just starts screaming and laughing. I was like, what'd I tell you? He's like, yeah, man. They talking. It's like, yeah, you want to come out here? We want to do this thing. We're going to do a project. We're going to call it One Nation. He's like, bet. I want to be a part of it. I'm like, yo, you want DJ Premier to be down with it? He's like, word? Hold on, let me call Frank. Yo, Frank, no. I'm like, word? Bet. Put him on. I was like, do you want Fat Joe to be down with this thing too? He was like, yeah. Then he asked me, you know how to reach Buckshot Shorty and those guys? I was like, yeah, I know how to reach them.
MOP.
I called them dudes and Drew High and all of them, and they came out there. They came to Cali. I seen when they came, the day when they landed there. So we was actually riding, going to a session, and other cars went another way, and we went another way. I'm like, where everybody going? He's like, nah, I got to make a stop for a minute. So we ride, and we going up the hills and stuff, and we going past different cribs. And we got to one crib, and the gates opening, all of that big time stuff. And we riding through the gravel. I'm like, yo, who live here? He's like, we gonna be living in here, nigga. We just bought this motherfucker. Get out of here. We ran in the joint. The realtor dude was the guy that we was following up in there. We go in, we running up the stairs. The carpet's so thick on the staircases where you can't have no balance. We running in one room, running out of the bedroom. He's like, yo, you still wanna go to the studio? I'm like, you wanna go to the studio? I'm out here with you, whatever you want to do. Man, fuck a studio. Let's have a party. So he get on the phone and he called the studio because none of the Outlaws and nobody knew that he bought the crib and had to meet at that bottom of that hill and brought them all up. And everybody like bugging like, well, he's like, we in here. And then he's like, yo, your man and them is coming because I had two of my boys come too. Since he was like doing One Nation, I was like, well, I got two of my homeboys. He's like, they your homeboys. I'm like, yeah. He's like, they your homeboys? Then they my homeboys. What's their name? Right. And he flew them out. And then he's like, yo, they landed. They picking them up from the airport right now. And then Buckshot and all of them, they all coming up the hill right now.
Dope. That's dope.
He's like, all right. And we was all out in the grass bugging. And, you know, one thing led to another. I had promised one of my boys that I was going to rhyme on his record. And my man had signed this new artist. I knew him for a while anyway. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I flew in. I was like, I'm going to come out this weekend. I'll be right back. He was like, you coming back? I'm like, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to go do the joint. I still got my man. Everybody's still here. My clothes is there. I'm coming back. Right. So like every other weekend, Suge take a plane and take everybody to Vegas. And I went to go do the song with my man. And then I stopped by Smooth's crib. Talked to him. I was like, yo, Pac asked about you and stuff. He's like, dope, man, dope. Like, I miss him. I'm like, yeah, let's go to White Castle. We driving down the street and we're listening to Angie Martinez on the radio. And all of a sudden the radio just went silent. And we was like, what the hell is happening? And all of a sudden you just hear her crying and crying. We was like, what the hell is going on? She was trying to talk, and then she eventually is like, that Tupac was just shot down in Las Vegas. And I was like, me and Smooth was just bugging. I was like, I just got the plane yesterday.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Crazy, man.
Shout out to Pac, man. Rest
yeah,
in peace,
man.
One of the best.
He told me some funny shit, man. He told me some funny shit because this one sometimes around Slow was out, and we were going to host a wet T-shirt big booty contest in San Diego.
My type of contest.
We was in Roscoe's first in L.A. and we said we leaving right now because we was going with the label rep. He's like, well, I'm coming too then. So he jumped in his little Jeep that he had. He used to walk around every day with no shirt on and be in a Jeep with no driver's license all day long. So we ride in and we got there, and the place was packed because you got to realize Rhyme Slow was like the #1 record in the country. So anybody in San Diego that was into the hip hop was at this venue. So we judging the contest, throwing water on them and stuff and doing all that. And you know, we had like we had 4 rooms. So me and Smooth was like, yo, we just give an extra key to you so you and your man and them, y'all can have one too, because we was in Embassy Suites. But everybody was all hanging out in my room. So when we got back to the room, you know how the Embassy Suites, you just walking through different rooms, and I'm seeing broads laying on the floor and the dudes and all this, and they waving up, hey, how you doing? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah, I'm walking by the bathroom. I see him Pac up in the bathroom with some people up on the counter and doing whatever. The girl looking at me like, oh my God, no. I'm like, hey, that's your business. Whatever y'all doing, cool.
Sound like my type of party.
Yeah. And then I had booked the one that won the contest. So the next morning, we was all outside at the hotel and we was all getting in the cars. And he came over there to me in the car. I was like, yo, man, you know what, man? Damn, you came off, man. And then when I got to Cali, like before he passed years later, and we started talking, he's like, you know why I love you, man? Because you let me hang out when nobody knew me, man. That's why I love you. He's like, I wanted that bad chick you had that night. He said, but I wasn't hot enough then. I was like, yo, you are stupid, man. You are stupid.
You know something I just thought about. I want to ask you because you from New York. They just caught. Everybody said that when Jam Master Jay got killed, everybody in New York, they they had always said that they knew who killed him. Did you?
Nah, I still don't know today because I didn't read none of the articles or nothing. I seen, that they said they got somebody, but I haven't read any of the articles about it or whatever.
Okay.
I know that one of the people supposedly that was there with him, I know him well. I know him real well. Because Jam Master Jay used to rock out with me a lot. You could go and look at one of my old Nice and Smooth videos where he does the introduction of the whole video, which the old to the new. If you look at the old to the new video, the first thing that come on is him. He's talking. Yo, it's Jam Master Jay. I'm here with Crazy Sam. We here with our boys, Nice and Smooth, because they like us, like Run DMC, like us. They like Tougher Than Leather, like the crew, baby. Just like that. That's what he says before the music or anything comes on in the video. And he used to come to Harlem and the BX and come hang out with me. And me and him used to get into debates like how you and Q used to get into debates about breaking in B Street. Me and him used to get into debates about video and music. Because I remember I was in the car, I was like, yo, the music video is going to be like the new radio. It's going to be everything is going to be that. Nah, but it can't just be all that. I'm like, that's going to take it over.
Right.
By the time we finished yelling at each other, he was like, all right, man, you got it. Whatever. It's all right.
You know what's crazy, Greg, is that listen, me and the DJs in town, we get into it all the time about that because I'm a video DJ. Now, listen, I can scratch, mix, and do all the other stuff too, but I think that the video game has changed everything. People,
Ralph McDaniels did it.
When they book me, they want video. I got video screens. I bring my video screens.
So you're a VJ. That's what Ralph McDaniels is like.
Right.
Ralph McDaniels.
I'm a VJ, and when I'm scratching, the video be scratching too. So I mean, I can still do all my trick shit.
Yeah.
The video be scratching, and people. It's just, to me, it's entertainment. It's just I think the days of to me. A video against music, that's like cassette and digital right now, man. I mean, the days of sitting in a room just listening to music, that's over with. That's over with, man. You gotta see it too. Jail. You gotta see it too. You gotta see it.
Unless you're in jail.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're in jail.
Exactly.
So, Greg, hey, Greg, real quick, I mean, I'll ask you a question because I very seldom hear this. What was it like, or did you ever have any collabs, or did you ever work with Big Pun, or what was it like being around Big Pun?
You said Big Pun?
Yeah, Big Pun.
Yeah, Big Pun.
No, I never worked with Big Pun, but I knew Pun. He always showed nothing but love. I remember the last thing I ever did was ride the Puerto Rican Day float with him.
Wow.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, we rode the float. We were sitting on the crate first. Before the float got ready to go, we was chilling, and then before that, last time we was at Sue's Rendezvous.
Oh, okay.
That's the spot where we always used to just go up there, and the strip club at Sue's.
Now, what's going on with you and Positive K? I seen y'all collabing on some projects and some songs. What's going on with you and Positive K?
I did a project with Pos 2 years ago. It did pretty well. Knew Pos for years. We took advantage of the internet. It was like, why not? Let's take advantage of that.
Right.
Surprisingly, we went out and did some shows. It was a good thing. I mean, Paz is a good guy. He got a lot of personal things he's dealing with now, family-wise. So it's taking up a lot of his time.
Right.
With his mom and his dad, he got that in the front. That's the main thing that he's taking care of now.
Right. We found that out because he was supposed to be a guest on our show, and then something came up where he had to cancel. So he said he had an emergency, so he canceled. So hopefully, we prayed for him and hope everything is all right with him. So
yeah, man, everybody getting up in that age right now. So if you got some loved ones that that's in your life, 9 times out of 10 you have something that you have to deal with that coming with it.
For sure.
We getting there too. Yourself, Q, we all getting there right now. This is that era.
I'm forever young, Greg. I'm forever young.
That's right. You are. You are. Your mind is telling you no, but your body.
Hey, Greg, what was it like, man, the first time to hear your record being played on air, man? I always want to know what What is that like for artists like yourself?
I seen him talk about it. I seen him talk about it on the interview. Go ahead.
The first time I was standing outside in front of Latin Quarters, and it was Popeye's Chicken across the street. It was the only Popeye's Chicken in Manhattan.
Yeah,
I was standing out there, and next door to the Latin Quarters was a pizza shop. And the pizza shop always open. The doors is always open. Glass windows, everything. And you see everybody on the corner. Everybody hangs right there in Times Square, like right in the middle of that Times Square. That's what Latin Quarters was, the original Latin Quarters. And they always have a radio on the counter. And, you know, Friday, Saturday nights is when everything was happening. So this one in 98 was popping. Remember the Oldsmobile 98?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And everybody had the big speakers in the back. And having their windows down to be tinted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of them cars is coming on the corner at the red light, and you can hear like da 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 da. It was like, and then you hear it in the stereo because one ear is hearing it in the pizza shop. You're like, you're smooth. What that sound like? It sound like us. What? Hold on. Oh, when the dude took off with the light, and you hear the beat drop. It was the Skill Trade song. It was like, oh. Then from there, the next night, heard it again. And then from there, we had pressed up the record because it was just an acetate. It was a metal plate.
Right.
So people don't know that was an acetate.
No. I heard Moni Love talk about the acid. But she talked about how she had to carry one from Jazzy Faye. So she said that how crucial it was and how you could break it. I heard about that. How she was talking about that.
That was like you could play it maybe 50 times before the grooves go away.
Right.
So by then we had went and pressed the joint. We had pressed up 500 joints. It was taking it around on the dolly on the subway in the hot summers back then, 95 degrees. Damn. Man, you running out of money. You hungry. You seeing the hot dog dude on the corner. You know what I mean? You like, should I get the hot dog or should I pay for this token for the train?
Right.
Which one should I do? You might have to try to hop this one.
Right.
I think we're gonna have to hop this joint, baby. We walk in, you know, like every 9-10 blocks is where the subway will stop again. So he's like, maybe we get on here. Hold on, let's see if there's any cops down here. That dude look funny. I think he undercover. Nah, we ain't hopping this one. Let's walk up some more. Before you know it, we walking like from 42nd Street. Now we up on 72nd Street. We like,
with a dolly. With a dolly.
Yeah. And you went in some stores and them motherfuckers make you open up a box of 40 records in there, and they want to take 3 out. You know, what are you talking about? I'll take 3 on consignment. What is consignment? That means pay you later. What? We got enough money to get the hot dog and the subway token?
Right. So
we was doing that. And like that next weekend, you hearing it more? We went back, checking Smooth Mom's voice mail. You know, the remember you used to have the one in your house, the phone recorder, the what was
answer machine.
Answer machine. Yeah. The answer machine. We listening. You hear the dudes talking. Hey, I'm such and such looking for more of these records. Did you got the record? We was like, oh snap, they want records? Started going back. Dude, like, give me all of them. You're like, you want all of them? Oh snap.
Yeah.
One day we standing in the store and the dude's coming in asking for a record, but they humming it. You know, I don't know the name, but it's like da 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 da. Guy playing the record like this. They like, yeah. We was looking at each other like, yo. Oh, damn.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Those are good times. You know, it meant something. Now you'd be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
As soon as you wake up, rappers on a commercial on TV. As soon as you go to sleep, it's on the box. It's on the watch. It's on the phone. It's everywhere. You know, you was happy to run home to see Michael Jackson video. Everybody ran home.
Exactly. So what you got coming up? You got anything coming up when the COVID lifts, when all the restrictions lift? You got anything coming up?
Yeah, actually, I'm getting ready to do a pay-per-view concert. It's going to be in Atlanta. It's being filmed this Saturday. It's going to be KRS, Dougie Fresh, Big Daddy Kane, myself, a couple of other acts. This Saturday we're doing it.
Is Smooth coming with you?
I doubt it. Because of COVID, on how traveling from You know where he lives at? He lives all the way on the other side.
Oh, okay. Probably
And
not.
I think a lot of it has to do with the testing of COVID and who's got tested yet, and all of this is just
Right.
they're trying to make it happen to get as many people that they can get that's available, you know, with health situations and all that. It ain't about, yo, come on. You know, everybody can't do that right now. And in some places if you do the COVID, it might take 9 days to get the report back, you know.
Right.
So
Okay,
it's
I
one of
got
them
you.
situations. But I'm just happy to be a part of that. And then I just finished the album, and I just finished the first video, everything too. So I'm hyped up about that. That's
That's what's
about to
up.
come. I'm gonna make sure I get that to you guys and
Oh
whatnot.
yeah. Oh yeah. No
You
doubt. No
know,
doubt.
Appreciate it.
yeah. And then you know that Run the Jewels has just did a whole nother lift for me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
That
man.
thing did a whole nother world, man. I
A
mean,
whole
the
nother
spins
generation got
it's
introduced to Greg
crazy
Nice.
because it's playing on a lot of mainstream stations around the world, around the country.
Right. Right.
And you realize that all these stations, majority of them is playing everything with the same cadence and the same frequency, the same
Okay,
tempo.
Right.
So
no
Right.
with
doubt.
that playing, it stands all the way up.
Oh
I
yeah. No
just did
doubt.
one of these interviews the other day with Hot 97 up in Connecticut. And they was like, yo, this is the only real hip hop boom bap song that plays on this station. They was like, do you know what that means? It's like it's bugged out
Exactly.
because everything on here is an 808 with tripling hi-hat and talking about how much money you got and how many hoes you got and how
Right.
much
Right.
lean you drinking. Every
Right.
song is pertaining to that with an auto tune on it. So when that comes on, dun, 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 ooh, when it just stands out.
Right.
And
Exactly,
then, and
man.
then, then the
Wow.
video speaks so much volume. So at the same time, you know, Killer Mike and the brothers is like, I just want you to be a part of this because, you know, I'm a fan and I grew up with you, man. I grew up to you. And
Shout
this
out
is
to
an
Killer Mike.
opportunity for you to bounce off that diving board.
New life. New
He's
life.
like, put a song out on top of this right now. You know,
Right.
put one. And then while we was on the set doing the video, we was out in LA. We did it at the Universal movie lot. So we was there the whole day. And I was playing songs for them, you know, for my album. And they like, yo,
That's
this is crazy. This is yo. Then I was with Kid and Hurricane and these dudes, and they was like, yo, man, this shit you playing is crazy. It was
no
like,
doubt.
yo, don't sit on it no more.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like, yo, you gonna get the younger folks gonna fuck with this as well as your own peers gonna fuck with this. It was like, you make me want to do music.
Right.
How the hell who did it? I'm like, I did all this shit. Damn, you know, so
Yeah.
I know what it is. I've
Make,
been there before. I've been there. I've had times where it's been like this time when I'm in my car or at the house and I'm like, da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, when the world get to this, yeah, this gonna be crazy. Or when it's like, doom, 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 I was like, I can tell. You know what I mean?
right. Right. Right.
You know, 9 times out of 10, you know when you're gonna get it. You know what I mean? So it's a good look. I'm gonna get that product to y'all guys soon, as well as the visual.
Well, let me tell you this from the DJ community. I'm talking about core DJ. You know, the DJ. I belong to about 3 different DJ coalitions, man. And that Ooh La La, your voice, Dwick, that song, and Greg Nice is back. You back, man. I mean, you popping on all in the DJ world. You popping, man. And
That's
we
love.
and we control the world. So man, you back, man. You back, man.
And listen, man, and what I'm doing, I'm gonna give you something where you're not doing me a favor. I'm gonna give you something where it makes you happy and proud to want to spin it because you like this is me because I'm doing it for us.
That's right.
I'm doing it for us. Like
that's right.
I know that I've been blessed to be around and still be able to transition. And I got a song where I got Grandmaster Caz's name in it from the Cold Crush. And I was playing it for him in a hotel. And he was like, yo, you sound just like before. Like, how did you, like, how you not skipping a beat? Like, I'm like, he's like, yo, man, shit crazy.
We need
I'm
that.
like, yo, GMC,
we need that.
You say it's crazy, then it's crazy, you know? I just wish the COVID wasn't there, but, you know, God don't make mistakes.
Nah, man. You listen.
I don't make mistakes. You know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
you know, when I play, I like to play. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I'm on stage, I'm just a whole nother person when I'm out there, and that's
It's right.
coming from my peers and from fans and things like that. So, man.
Well, we got mad love for you, man. Hey, man, you stay up, man. You stay safe. Make sure your people get us those songs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we gotta get that. I gotta get that.
I'm loving that, baby.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah,
I'm loving that, man.
yeah. G Nice, you gotta get that to me, baby. I need
that.
Get that to me, man.
Let me say this in closing. Greg, you have been a part of my world of growing up, man, and you have provided some of the best
soundtrack
hip hop sounds of all time, man. Of all time, man. And I just want to say directly that I've been able to say this to you while you here on our podcast. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. And I want to give you your roses right now, man. You know, I know you got more to come, but I just want to say thank you so much for providing me that much. Thank you.
Hey, man, Q and T, T and Q. Ain't nothing but love, man. Ain't nothing but love, man. Hold on. Let me see something. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
I got you.
Yeah.
Give us
some more with it.
Give us some more.
Let me show you a teaser of this. See if you can see that.
This that other shit. Your boy Greg Millie on that other shit. This that uptown shit, man. Ain't nothing hotter. This that other shit. Your boy Greg Millie on that other shit.
That's the trailer for the single.
That's what's up, man.
The big Trav and Q show don't bring hits, man.
Yeah. We break it.
Trailer for the single. Hold on.
Your boy Greg Millie on that other shit. Pop off like bread and vodka. Little shorty, she's on my Joe Cocker. Straight hater, her friend the cock blocker. Way I kick game, you think I played soccer. No limit to this silky shocker. This that butter shit. Your boy Greg Millie on that other shit. Better at the CIAA. The VIP sipping rose. Mama said, Bobby Boucher. Well,